This episode may contain language or discussions that may be offensive or triggering. Refer to the episode summary for details. You might be waiting to launch or take your business to the next level because you don't feel ready or you think you don't have what you need to get started. But that's the hater in your head talking. Hi there, it's your business bestie, Charlene Ketchum, and welcome to the She.confidential podcast. If you've been seeking encouragement to pursue your dream, my conversation with Chantelle Douglas, the queen of digital marketing, will be the gentle nudge you need. I hope you enjoy listening in. Thank you so much for making time to chat with me today. And one of the things that caught my attention is you celebrate your victories a lot on your social. And
Yeah.
I love it because, we as Black women, we don't do that enough. We don't celebrate our victories, and you celebrate those milestones. How
hmm
did you get in the habit of doing that? And how did you get comfortable with doing that?
I have always been comfortable with the vision I've had for myself. I've always known that I'm going to do great things. I'm going to be a leader and impactful for my community. I got comfortable with celebrating my victories because, like you say, a lot of Black women don't do that. I could just feel the energy of staying to ourselves, not feeling good enough. Am I ready to share this yet? I feel that from all the women I come in contact with. So my thing is just to share my victories so that they will know that it's okay. You know, I tell people, I shared a post about this before. I shared that I'm not where I want to be financially, but I'm so much more further ahead than when I started. And sharing stuff like that, it just allows, I just want my audience to feel comfortable with sharing their victories, no matter how big or how small. We need to start sharing them just to show gratitude, and then as we show gratitude, more of that will come our way.
Yeah, yeah. And I appreciate that you mentioned like the financial part of it too, because, a lot of times we shy away from talking about money. Like,
Mhm.
we not doing this to make money because, we all got to eat, we got
Right.
to live, and we want to be able to enjoy life. We want to have options, and money gives us options and opportunities.
It absolutely does. I am big on talk about money. I talk about prices for things. I talk about money that I've invested. I think that when we release the stigma or the teachings and learnings we've learned from youth about money. I know one of the things I was taught about money when I was a little girl. Don't tell people how much money you got in your bank account, and don't tell people your political affiliation. I was just like, okay. So my thing is, you don't have to be so open that you tell people, yeah, you know, I got this, that, and the third in my bank account, but at least say that you desire to have money. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, we need that to survive. We need that to get all the things that we need to sustain us. So just talk about it. Share.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you didn't meet your financial goals or whatever. Just say, you know, I'm working to be a six-figure a year or a month entrepreneur, and
Yeah.
flow with it. I love talking about money because I love money and I want money to love me back.
Okay. Yeah, and when you talk about it, and especially if you're talking about it with the right people, you learn how to achieve those goals more
mm,
effectively. And that's the power in having those conversations, because when we're uncomfortable about it or we're ashamed, because like you said, if you don't meet your goals, the thing is you're still trying, and you have that awareness of where you're trying to go and where you presently are. So like for you and your business, for a lot of new entrepreneurs, the struggle is like, what should my goals be? Like,
mm.
how did you figure out how to set your goals in your business?
When I started out, I didn't have any help. I was just going off of the desire to work for myself and to help other black businesses showcase themselves on digital platforms. So I didn't know anything about business credit. I knew how to register my business. That was it. I just knew how to register my business to make sure I was legit, and I knew how to promote myself on social media. So I think in starting out that way, it helped me to say, okay, you've worked hard, not smart. Now it's time to work smart, not hard. So let's iron out exactly, you know, where you want to be and how you want to get there. So you can kind of get that firm foundation started that you didn't do when you first started.
Yeah, yeah. And I read that you said work smarter. Because, you know, a lot of times we're like, oh, I got to go harder. I got to go harder. I got to bring in more clients. You know, I've got to, you know, work more hours and all those things. Well, it may not mean that you need to bring in more clients. It may mean that you need to add more value to your offer so you can raise your prices so that
Right.
you have to serve fewer people.
That's totally true. That's big because we feel like if I help 1,000,001 people, then people will see my worth. They will understand that I am a great value. But the thing is, you have to showcase that value first. You have to be like, here's what it is. This is what my package or my program includes, or this is what my products includes, and this is what I'm saying I need for you guys to pay me. And the right ones will eventually be like, okay, I agree. I need this to better this area of my life. I'm going to invest in myself by supporting this business.
Yeah, yeah. Showing that transformation, showing people the value. Like, and you're really consistent on social media, and a lot of people struggle with that. Especially it's like we all have our gifts, you know, our skill sets that are our gift. And yours is marketing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's particularly on digital platforms. But for a lot of people, that ain't their gift. You know, they've got this business and they're really dope at what they do in their business. But when it comes to articulating, this is how I can help you transform your life or make your life better as a result of this offer, they don't know how to do that. So,
Mm-hmm.
for you, like, has this always been a natural skill set of yours? Like, I want to go back and talk about like the how you cultivated these skills. How did you get into marketing?
On accident, I was just minding my business. So go back a little bit further to my days at Southern University. I was a mass communication major, focusing on public relations. So initially, I wanted to be a sports agent. Then I was like, I'm not going to law school. And I knew that it would be a struggle because, I'm a black woman dealing with men in that industry, athletes. And I was just
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm just going to watch the games on TV, go to a few games in New Orleans, and that's it. So I gave up that vision, but I kept the major because I was like, well, eventually I can do PR for a government agency, companies, whatever. Then life happened, and I was just working at different jobs, none of them dealing with public relations. And then I started working at a nonprofit. I was just admin assistant, and she was like, "Oh, Chantelle, you're a mass communications major. Social media is kind of like communications." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I want you to handle my social media accounts for me and send the emails to the clients and the donors and all that kind of stuff." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." And that's just how it started. I'm thankful for my executive director because she opened the door for this. And that's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. She's since transitioned, so I always share that story just to kind of honor her legacy. Because one of the things she told me was, I'm going to increase your skill set. Just give me time. And that is
Yeah.
something that she did. I started doing the social media. She used Hootsuite at the time. This is back in 2015. Um, she was using Hootsuite, so I would learn how to use Canva. I can go back to my graphics back then that were so ugly. Like I can't believe she published this on her account. It's still in her nonprofit account because one day I just was lurking and I swiped through all the way back to 2015 and my posts were still there. So I was just like, that's cool. So that's pretty much how it happened. I learned how to do email marketing. She used to use Constant Contact, and I was just thrown in there, and I was like, I really like this. I like how the clients would appreciate getting the communication from her and how it would just, help with the flow of the events that they had for them. I just loved everything about it. I love when we had big events and people actually came because they saw the social media posts and they opened their emails. I love that donors would give because they opened their email to give. And it was just something about connecting people to the business or the organization that they were fond of that really did my heart some good. So I was just sitting one day with my line sisters and I was like, y'all know I done had a lot of jobs. They did too. I was like, this is not working for me. What can we do? Because my one of my line sisters, she's a serial entrepreneur way before we even started. And she was selling doggy treats back in the day. So I just picked her brain and she was like, well, you did social media management and email marketing for the nonprofit you work for. How about you just take that skill and use that to help other business owners? So big shout out to her as well because that really it sparked something in me, and that's how I got my start in marketing.
You know what I love, and thank you for sharing the start of your journey with us, because what I love about that story is you talk about the value of your circle. And that is something that I like emphasize so much in my email list, in our community, when I work with clients, is like, who are you talking to? Who's in your innermost circle? Because when you think about the people that we talk to the most on a daily basis, there's 3 to 5 people that you talk to the most. What kind of impact do they have in your life? Who can you go to? Like for you, when you were trying to figure out, like, how do I take this skill set and make it something that's going to work for me, where I can actually generate income, and not just generate income, but like have a potential for a lot of, a high income, something that I can really thrive, not just live, but like thrive on and enjoy. And you have people around you who were able to see your skills, gave you that opportunity, to try something new. So you listened to your curiosity. You were able to apply the skill set that you hadn't been able to utilize before. You saw people who saw that in you, gave you that opportunity. You were willing to take it, go for it. And then you have folks around you that you could talk to about it. And like, kudos to you for being willing to open up and ask the question, because a lot of times people don't. We think we got to figure it all out by ourselves. And I know I'm 42, and I've heard some people say, well, I feel embarrassed because at this point I should be further along. And so that's why they don't ask anybody any questions. But you didn't do that. Like, you tapped into your network for real.
Right. I was a lot younger back then, but at the end of the day, I still knew that I wanted more for myself. And
Yeah.
still to this day, at 35, I have some steps to take, some strides to make, but I'm confident in knowing that it's going to happen because once you start seeing the vision, once you buy into the idea and you begin to see the vision, like, and you're really sold on doing the inner work to be your best self, and to make the most out of your time here on this earthly realm. You cannot let go of that vision that you have seen for yourself. You have to do whatever it takes, not harming anybody else, nothing scandalous, but do whatever it takes to
Yeah.
make that vision come to pass. And that's just been my driving force through everything that I have endured from birthing right for you media, as I called it, because for 2 years it was just a hobby. I was just seeing who I could help. Then I officially established my business in 2018. So from ideation, conception to birth to child rearing, I'm a hold on to the vision, and my baby's gonna graduate, and we're gonna
Yeah.
celebrate.
Absolutely. I mean, and so I want to dig in a little bit in like your vision, like how that came to be, how you nurtured that, and how you were able to manifest that vision, because I think that's where a lot of us get stuck, because like for me, growing up and not seeing a lot of black folks around me who were actually thriving. Like, I saw black people working hard. Like, everybody worked hard, had multiple jobs, and was just tired as hell. Like, I didn't, people have these stereotypes of black folks, especially people who earn lower wages, and they think that they're lazy. And I would say the people who make the least amount of money, they working harder than everybody else most of the time. But I didn't see people who had those opportunities, or even had the emotional and mental capacity and the support that they needed to be able to dream big. And so that was something that I was able to pick up on, because I was around other people who had that bandwidth to be able to dream big. They had those options to be able to invest in themselves. And so when I saw, okay, other people can do this, other folks can do it. Well, shit, I can do it too. If they can do it, then I can do it too. And that's kind of how I was able to develop a blueprint. So, for in your experience, how were you able to develop the vision and really see it and then pursue it?
My family, look, my dad's side of the family, everybody is big brain, geniuses, very intelligent, articulate. Some went to college, some didn't. And then on my mom's side, she's from the West Indies, so you know how they do. A lot of them, what's the word? Migrated to the States. They
Yeah.
brought the kids one by one, just resilient, just And I was like, these people, and my parents, when I was little, they used to sit around and talk about all these business ideas they had, and I was just listening. And I would see them go
Mm-hmm.
to work, come back, and I'd be like, but y'all just talked about this. So I got fed up on the inside. I was like, it's a lot going on, around me. People talking about stuff, they're not going full force. I know people not happy with their lives. I know I'm not happy. And I just started this adulting. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, it's only one way to do it, and it's to do what your heart is desiring to do. And I was just like, I have to do something. Like I have the ability, the capacity to do it. I've been taught everything I need to be taught about just going for what you desire. So I'm gonna do it, and that just propelled me. I was like, well, everybody else, my people my age were successful at graduating from college or going back to get another degree or saying college is not for me and going into some kind of trade field. Everybody's doing those things successfully. I don't want to do that, so I have to do this because this makes me happy.
Yes.
I just, I just, when I have it in my mind to do something, I'm gonna do it. Life has taught me. I've been through so many different things. Like I tell people all the time, since the age of 17, I've had 22 jobs. I've lived in about 11 different places. Every area code in Louisiana except for one I've lived in. Like I am ready to just settle down and have everything that is for me.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, I have to push forth. If I'm saying that I'm the best at digital marketing, I have to show other business owners that hey, I have two boys and I can sit here and show up for my business and you can too in a way that feels good for you. So every day it's just like either you're gonna do something or you're not. And I choose to do something every day.
It all starts with a choice.
Yeah.
It all starts with a choice. And I don't want somebody to hear me say that and think like, well, everybody's choices ain't the same. I get it. Like
Yeah.
everybody's plate looks very different. But like you just said, it all starts with a choice. Like you have to just say, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not maxing out my happiness. I'm not maxing out my options. I'm not maxing out my opportunities to build wealth. And
Mm-hmm.
you get to choose. Like either you keep doing the same things that have you where you are, where you're not maxing out your money and your joy, or you get to do something different. It's a choice.
It definitely is a choice. We
Yeah.
control our realities. We are in control. God is saying, okay, you say you're not going to do nothing. Well, I can't bless you.
There
Or
you
God
go.
is going to say, okay, you putting in the work. Let me round about the angels and the spirit gang to get you what you need to get your end
Yes.
result that you desire. It's all
Yes.
about what we want to do.
Yes. The universe will work with you when you start working for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. It has to be in sync. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you started your business, like a lot of people think that they don't have what they need to start a business, like the degrees, like you had this education background in it. So somebody might be listening right now and they say, okay, well, sure, she was able to do it. She had the education background to do it. She she had a leg up. So what do you think are the essential things for somebody who right now is listening to you and they have this vision for whatever it is that they want to do? And they're thinking, I don't have everything that I need. What would you say to them? What is it that they need to get started?
You just need the You just need and to want to get started, and you need to properly educate yourself because there are various of entrepreneurial fields that don't require any certifications. All you need is
Yeah.
is the money to pay for your legalities and stuff like that. But unless you're going to a specific field, then you typically won't need a certification. So my college degree is not being put to use. It hasn't, to be honest, it hasn't been put to use since I graduated. I think I typed up one press release for somebody like since I graduated. That's been it. Really fun to do, but my college degree has not been put to use. The only thing that I put to use is my just natural ability to communicate on behalf of others. I know how to speak for people, how to type for people, how to create things for people. So you need to just educate yourself on what you need for your particular business that you desire to start. I tell everybody something that I did not do. that I wish I would have done was get a mentor, a business coach to help me with the back end of things so I could create that good firm foundation, not only with my registration legalities, making sure I have the proper, stuff done for my state, Secretary of State, but also making sure that I'm aware of financial responsibilities, taxes, credit possibilities to earn business credit. That kind of stuff needs to be established before you go shop online to buy your inventory, before you invest in a logo, somebody to make your logo, before you start your social media platforms, before you even worry about your website, your booking links, whatever. You need to learn those things first. That's the most important thing, especially if you're in this to build generational wealth. You have to educate yourself properly on that. And once you do that, I believe that gives you a confidence because you know that, can't nobody come in and stop your business as far as Uncle Sam is concerned. You know that you are a leg up with getting funding for your business. So that's definitely what I would advise others to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I appreciate that you mentioned the importance of investing and
Hmm.
getting that expert, that expert insight. I mean, talking to an accountant, because the money, y'all, a lot of people be running to get fancy websites designed and they haven't even talked to anybody. And now I will say that I don't think you don't have to have all those things to start your business, like you said, because a lot of people think I have to have a logo, I have to have a website. No, no, you don't. You don't have to have all that stuff established when you start your business. The only thing, like you said, that you need to start your business is the desire to do it and people who you have something that people need and that they're willing to pay for. That's all you need.
Hmm.
You need the desire to do it, and you need people who are interested in whatever it is that you're selling.
Hmm.
Then you move on to, okay, how can I legitimize this? How can I take care of those essentials? And making sure your business is formed correctly, talking to a business attorney, talking to a tax professional, those things are extremely important. The marketing things are what are going to help grow your leads and bring in more customers and everything. But if you don't yet have the budget for that, I always tell clients, and I just always tell friends, hey, word of mouth is a big lead generator. Before you spend all that money on the website, have you even told the people that you know what you're doing? Make
Hmm.
sure people know what you're doing. That's for free. You can send an email or a text message or record a video on your smartphone and post that on your personal social media. Like most social media things are free unless you're running ads.
Hmm.
So I'm so glad that you said that because a lot of people kind of think they have, and that stops them from getting started because they think, I got to have all this stuff, to get started. Nah, you don't. But that's the value of having a circle of people that you can talk to because somebody else out there has been where you are. So even if you're still at the idea stage and you're just trying to figure out, like, I love doing this, can I make money doing that?
Hmm.
Like, there's somebody out there who's been there and they can help you figure out like how to position whatever your gift is, your talent or your service or product is. They can help you figure out how to position that in front of the people who need it and will pay for it. There's
Hmm.
somebody out there like Chantelle who can help you figure out how to articulate your messaging. There's
Hmm.
somebody out there who can help you get the back end and your systems and things together. Like we do that at She.confidential. I have an online program with an online course and weekly group coaching where we're helping Black women business owners get all those systems and processes together. The things that actually give you your time back, the
Right.
things that actually allow you to benefit. Like you're making this money, but you're so busy doing the little things in your business that you don't even have time to think about the big picture things that could grow your business or just be able to chill and enjoy your life now
Hmm.
that you're thriving and you got this money coming in. So there's, being willing to invest in yourself, absolutely essential. And I'm glad that you pointed that out because a lot of people,
They do it
yeah,
backwards, and it really gets them because once you go and purchase all the inventory, buy all those marketing materials, all that kind of stuff, you putting yourself in a position to not be able to pay people to help you. The first
yeah,
step is to pay for help. Even if you're just starting a business, you don't have to wait for a year to invest in a business coach or a marketing strategist. To me, that should be the first two things you invest in. Somebody, business, accounting, bookkeeping, and marketing. Those are the top three things that we need to solidify as business owners or as people who desire to start a business. Like that's what we need. And once we get that, it's up from there. Like, cause it's just gonna be that way. You got a business coach teaching you how to build business credit. You don't have to worry about a lack to pay for bookkeeping, and if your marketing strategist is positioning you in the right manner on social media, email marketing, you don't have to worry about no lack. So you always gonna have some coming in to, you know, take care of all that. So it's
Yeah.
just a big mindset shift we have to make. Well, let me just get my stuff so I can just showcase my stuff, and I'm gonna just go to about 50 pop ups a year, and I'll be good. You'll be good and burnt out.
And that burnout is so real. It's,
Mhm.
a lot of people talk about the figures of the number of small businesses that don't survive. And one of the leading the top causes is not knowing what they don't know,
Mhm.
lack of support, and that's in support staff being able to outsource things, but that also includes your circle. So who are the people that you spending most of your time with? Are they negative naysayers? You got haters in your circle sometimes who are going to
Mhm.
have you doubting yourself, who are going to be telling you, why are you doing that? All that stuff, planting these negative seeds. And the other thing is that you don't, that you're giving up, you don't believe in yourself enough. Like
Mhm.
you have to believe in yourself even before you have receipts,
Yes.
even before you have that first client,
Right.
because people don't pay for desperation. So if you're like out there like, oh, buy for me, buy for me, buy for me, people are like, oh, okay. Because you're going to be overly aggressive. Like people want you to sell to them, they just don't want you to be aggressive. And
Yeah.
when you believe in yourself and you understand how whatever it is that you're selling is going to help them get this transformation, make their life better, then you don't have to be aggressive because you know what you're capable of doing. You know how to articulate that. You've invested in a marketing strategist to help you because you may not be a good person when it comes to wordsmithing. That's
Mhm.
okay. I'm not saying you got to be great at that. But what you got to know, and a business coach or a business strategist can help you articulate what your offer is. They can
Exactly.
help you figure out, like, what is your offer? Who are you targeting this offer for? How you need to design the transformation, because that's what people are buying. They're buying the transformation. They're not buying all the features. They just want to know how you're going to make my life better with
Right.
whatever it is.
Mhm.
You get you somebody who can help you get clarity on that, and then you get somebody that can help you articulate that transformation,
Mhm.
and you're golden.
You are. It's just rinse and repeat. Once you solidify, get that firm foundation, you're good. And if you happen to be like me and it didn't start correctly and has to do things backwards, go backwards and fix some things, it's okay because at the end of the day, you have all that experience, you have all that insight to teach up and coming entrepreneurs, and it'll all work out how it's supposed to work out. But now
Absolutely.
everybody's starting a business now, listening to this, y'all know what to do. Start off on a good foot and make it
Yeah.
easy for yourself.
Yeah. And and I don't believe that there's a such thing as failure.
Right.
I don't even think, there's certain things we can do when we start to make it easier. But you know what? The key is just to get started. It's
Yeah.
just to get started because, when you make quote unquote mistakes, all those are things that don't go as intended because that's all a failure, a perceived failure is. It's just when something doesn't go as we intended or wanted it to go. That's data. That's analytics that you use to move different later. So that's still golden. So we can't sit in that, and that's what holds a lot of entrepreneurs up, especially new ones, is they get frustrated and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not hitting my revenue goals," or nobody's purchasing from me, or I don't have a social media following, or any of those things. Don't sit and simmer in that. Like it's like, okay, my social media is not growing. Let me, talk to other. Let me study this a little bit. So what's wrong? Am I not showing up consistently enough? Am I not posting enough? If I am posting a lot, okay, something's wrong with my messaging. Are people not understanding what the transformation is? Because I can tell you them about the features all day, but do they understand how I help them? Do I have an email list to nurture them? Because you mentioned the email list earlier. You can post on social media all day, but if you don't have a way to get them off social media to be able to nurture that relationship with them, it's going to be much harder for them to buy from you. So,
Yeah.
looking at all those steps and stages, and that's the importance of investing in business coaches, marketing strategists, and expanding your circle,
Yes.
because you probably got people in your circle who have businesses, and if even if they don't have a business, they probably know somebody else has got a business who can advise you on, like, girl, this what you need to be doing, this is what you need to be thinking about. And if you don't have those kind of people in your circle, you need to expand your circle.
That's so true. I found myself recently, I've been on Instagram for the second time since April. Yeah, April. It's December now. And I found myself being like that go to person, just sharing people that randomly DM me and just have conversations, just sharing with them positive ways to, transform what they're doing to get their end results. But my thing is, I tell people all the time, you got to follow some rules when it comes to this thing about being patient and getting what you need from the
Yeah.
people that you're promoting to. Just give it time, and if
Yeah.
you're not comfortable with what you're doing, it don't matter how long you wait for something to shake. It probably won't. Like you have to get at a place where you can do something that is comfortable for you to be consistent at doing. And if you don't get to that place, you might as well just really stop, rethink, and revamp what you're doing. But once you get to that place of comfortability, you're like, okay, let's ride this thing on out. Give it time. Give yourself 90 days because at the end of the day, in my field, people love what we do because we give tips all day long. People love tips, but not everybody, first of all, not everybody implements those tips, and not everybody is ready for somebody to implement those tips for them. So it takes a long time in the journey with connecting with potential clients and customers before y'all make that connect. Y'all have that aha moment. Well, they have the aha moment of, okay, I'm ready to invest in this business and get the help that I need. So, those are all things we got to take into consideration. Even think about our own buying and spending habits. How long it take us to make decisions on certain things,
Mm-hmm.
certain things we need all day, every day, like food, water, shelter. We're gonna pay for the lights. We're gonna pay for the groceries. We're gonna do all that. But other things, just think about how long it takes for us to purchase stuff. I think about that with myself all the time. I think about where
Mm-hmm.
I am financially. I've done crazy stuff like invest in group coaching when I wasn't ready, and I was like, well, why did I do that? But it was still, like you said, there's no such thing as failure. It's all lessons, and those lessons help show me what not to do or how to tweak things going forward. So it's a beautiful journey, and I'm very appreciative of it all. I'm very thankful for where I am and how I'm able to help others, even the ones that are not on the client roster. That's fine because eventually I know there's a lot of people and they tell me all the time on social media, I can't wait till I can hire you. And I'm just like, I can't wait either. So I guess it's just got to be in that season of wait.
Yeah. But don't give everything away for free now. It's
Oh,
all those count, because here's the thing, and I believe in this because and I practice it. We pay for what we value. And if that
mm-hmm,
means that you need to take up a collection from your family and friends and say, "Hey, there's this amazing program or this amazing coach that I want to work with." I have done that. I have a consulting business that's unrelated to she.confidential, that is my source of income to be able to fund my personal development activities. So I've had business I did a business coaching program last year. I'm about to start a new one. I have a wellness coach. Like, I practice what I preach in terms of being willing to invest in yourself. And sometimes, and most of the times, that means you're going to be uncomfortable, because when you spending money when you're not yet making money from your vision yet, that's uncomfortable. Because it's like, I'm spending all this money for something that's not yet bringing me in money. But you know what? That's how you get to that point, to where you're making the money. So you got to invest in yourself. And a lot of that, like you said it perfectly, like, it's a mindset shift.
mm-hmm,
Because a lot of times we just want everything for free, and we tell ourselves, oh, I can't afford this yet. Look, you explored all your options? Like,
right.
what is it that you're doing? It may be something that's not like your favorite thing to do, but you can make money. Like, maybe can you do her? And you, that's not your thing, but you know how to do hair real good, or you know how to do makeup. Like, can you do these things for other people to make you some money so you can pay for these services? Because when you make these investments to support your personal development in your business, those things pay for themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
like we have to get out of that mindset, like you said, of thinking I can't afford this. No, have you truly exhausted all of your options when it comes to getting what it is? And that's where discipline comes into play, because you're gonna be uncomfortable. Like you've described your journey, like just you being bold and brave to try something new. Like that was uncomfortable for you, but look how it's paying off because you have the freedom of having your own business. So you gonna be uncomfortable when you growing, but that discipline and that vision is what's going to help sustain that momentum and that growth. And we, that's the reality of it. Like I'm not that person who's like, sleep when you dead and like hustle for life. But you're gonna have to have some hustle seasons, baby. Is
Yeah.
people, that's part of it. And so we have to understand that it's not easy. And especially for those who are momopreneurs, like you got on your shirt. So
Yes.
like if how do you manage that? Being a mom and just having a personal life and running a business. How do you not let the business take over everything?
I have support. My parents came to pick up the boys and took them to the park today. And I have a great support team. When it was just me and my line sisters back in 2015, about 2018, it was just us hustling together. They were my
Yeah.
support team then. And then I moved back home after I had my son in 2019. I moved back home. So it's been my family as a great support and a help to me. And some friends. I've hosted events out here in Louisiana, and I've met a nice circle of women who some of them are I think all of them pretty much been my clients at one point. So it's just been beautiful just connecting with like-minded individuals. Now, as far as the day-to-day with the boys, every day looks different. We don't have routines in here. I'm gonna homeschool my children, so it's just like I'm a former teacher, and I know all this stuff's just not gonna work for my children because they come from me, and I know how I am.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be peaceful, structured, and peaceful, and just go how it's supposed to go for that day. I
Yeah.
wake up. I may have a list of things to do, but at the end of the day, it's whatever gets done. Whatever don't get done, it don't. If it's bedtime, I usually work after they go to bed, work before they wake up. If that don't happen, it don't happen. So, learning to let go is my best method of survival as a mompreneur. Learning to let go. I can't be in control of everything as a Virgo. I just like to do it. Just
Oh,
everything
my
working
sisters,
out
if I know how
correctly.
y'all are.
So I gotta let go, and I'm peeling back a little bit more and more each day. And as I peel back more great things are happening for my business. January and February, I think I made $0. October, November, I had the biggest sales month of my whole business career. So it's all about just showing up and putting their best foot forward. My son tells me all the time, Mama, are you the queen of digital marketing? I'm like, yes, son, I am. And he
Yes.
says, why? I said, because I say that I am. That's what I want to be. He's like, okay, mama. So, just having those conversations with that little brainiac and just, being, with his little brother and all that kind of stuff, that helps me every day say, okay, I'm not going back to nobody's job. I'm not putting my babies in nobody's child care. I have a background in child care and education. I just can't get jiggy with it. So I got to make a way for me to do this for myself, for my sanity, because I will be a
Yeah.
very guilty mama every day. And for my boys, for what's best for them.
I just love everything you just said. Like, and because you are, and how you show up for yourself, you're teaching your babies how to show up for themselves. I mean, that's priceless. When he hears mama say, "Yes, I'm the queen of digital marketing because I said so," that
Mhm.
gives him permission. And especially for black boys, I mean, we need, they gotta live in this world, and so we have to at home make sure they feel strong and they know, like, yeah, you declare who you are.
Exactly.
You declare it, and it
Hmm.
can be so. And they're seeing the proof of that when they see their mama. So that's absolutely amazing. And one of the themes that has echoed like throughout our conversation is like that support circle that you had in your former manager, that you've had with your line sisters, that you have with your family. And that's essential. Like, y'all, I don't care. Like, if you have all this money, like you inherit a ton of money to start your business, you're still going to need support. You're going to need people to talk to when it gets scary. You're going to need people to talk to when you get super successful, because people don't talk about that side of it. Like, your business could suddenly like blow
Yeah.
up and you got all these clients.
Hmm.
And how do you manage it when you start scaling like that? Now you got to work a little bit different. You know, it's different when you're trying to grow it versus like, ooh, we're really growing and now I got a team and all that stuff. Those are new challenges that you can get through, but new challenges nonetheless. And so you need that support circle that you can talk to, like vent, but then you also need that support circle that's going to keep you accountable and say, girl, you better keep pushing. You're not going to give up. You can take a break, but you're not going to give up. And you need that support circle with some folks in there who can actually give you some meaningful advice.
That's so
So
true.
you need a mix in that circle. And it sounds like you have that. And I hope that people hear that and understand that there's so much strength in vulnerability. And that is an asset for us as entrepreneurs, to be vulnerable and
Hmm.
to be willing to ask for and accept support.
Yes, definitely. And I also have a therapist. That is major key.
Baby, I do too. You need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essential. Essential.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Like, I knew talking to you was going to be good.
Oh, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it because the thing about it is, like, we have, like, I just want people to be comfortable with where they are. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you made $5 this month in your business or 500. Just be comfortable with where you are. The more that you are, the more of what you desire is gonna come. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on and keep sharing the message. Because not only do I want to win, I want those connected to me to win as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Where can people follow your business? So before we wrap up, I want people to know exactly what services you offer at Right For You. And I love that name, by the way, Right For You Media. I love that name. How'd you come up with your business name?
Sitting on the couch at my line sister's house. I was like, well, what can I call my business? And I was like, oh, I write for people. Because I honestly, back in the day at Southern, I used to do people homework. I used to type the papers up. I used to
Yeah.
type the press releases for my classmates. Sorry, Southern. I used to do people homework for money. Don't come take my degree. Not that I'm usually anyway, but no shade. But anyway, so I always write for people. So I was like, write for new media. It just clicked. And
Yeah.
that's
I
I
mean,
had.
and the wordplay, like,
Yeah,
she is right for you, right for your business. Like,
exactly.
I love it. I love that name. And so, what services does Right for You Media provide?
Yes, so we offer social media management and marketing, lead generation, and one-to-one consulting.
Excellent.
Hmm.
And where can they find you, follow you on social or online?
Instagram is my main place, the Queen of Digital Marketing, at the Queen of Digital Marketing, all one word. You can find me on Instagram, and from there, you can click the link in my bio to learn more about what I have going on. And join my
Wonderful.
email list there too, because I always email people like twice a month.
Yes, because you offer so many tips. You offer a
Mhm.
lot of great tips and insights on your social media. So I highly recommend. And if she's giving them kind of gems on the Instagram, her email list is really on point. So y'all need to definitely follow, get on the email list. Check the description box if you're watching on YouTube or listening to on a podcast platform. Just check the notes below, and all the links for Right For You Media will be included in there, so y'all can follow the Queen of Digital Marketing. So, yay! Thank you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and sign up for notifications so that you don't miss any She Confidential podcast episodes. I'll see you next time.